It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the New York Giants and the Philadelphia Eagles, next on Madden NFL 25.
You ready to roll?
Philadelphia is known for having some very vocal fans, and nearly 70,000 of them are letting their voices be heard already. Welcome inside Lincoln Financial Field. Hi there, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You picked a fun one to tune into. I'm Kate Scotch, joined by former NFL quarterback Brock Huard. And we've got two quarterbacks here, Brock, who are known for playing a very exciting brand of football. Not just throwing the rock, but taking it themselves, too.
Yep, these are two of the guys who really epitomize the direction that this position's going in the modern NFL.
Yep.
Pocket passers, they'll have their place. They always will. But a lot of teams look to somebody like this as the default. A great passer, but someone who can also mix in plenty of rushing yards and keep that defense honest.
Here's Graham Gano out for the opening kick. And we're underway from Philadelphia. Here's Avery Williams on the return. Return's looking good so far. Tackle made as the return gets it out to the 32. So here come the Eagles for their opening drive. They're led out by an incredible score through the air and on the ground. He was picked 53rd back in 2020. It's Jalen Hurts.
Kate, it's not often that we talk about quarterbacks having a nose for the end zone in football. It's usually reserved for the running backs, but Jalen Hurts has changed that conversation. He has so much power, so much strength. You get him into the short yardage situations or around the goal line, he finds a way to get in, but it's not just there. He's got a deep ball that's the envy of many. He's elevated his teammates around him, and he's got a skill set that I know a lot of quarterbacks would sure love to have. And those are the completions they rely on from their passing game.
New set of downs for him from the 46. Slot man in motion right. 1st and 10. Here's Hurts. That's caught. It's Saquon Barkley. And this is through the midfield stripe and onto the Giants side of the field.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason, where one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
They run it with Saquon Barkley. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory. Give him 4 yards there, and they only need one more now on 3rd down.
You know, that's a good run right there to keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Complete beyond the marker. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. They come through with a nice gain of 10 and a 1st down.
There's no route on the old proverbial route tree, Kate, that takes more trust than throwing an out route. You're throwing it to a spot and believing your guy can get there.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Hurts now from the gun. Flushed out of the pocket. And this time they're going to get there, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense. And now, well, now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin because we know pressure leads to sacks. And sacks in this league often leads to wins.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Trying again following the sack. He's on the move. He takes it himself. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. It's a 26-yard pickup there. And that's a Philadelphia 1st down.
Man, I don't ever want to be a defensive coordinator. They do so many things right to take away the pass, And then what happens? Well, you get a quarterback that lowers his head, gashes the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game. You take away the pass, but you can't stop the QB run.
And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
You know, when receivers have room to operate, that's a play that can totally gash a defense. But, Kate, when you get down here in the red zone, it becomes so much tougher because you have a whole lot less space. And, in fact, you'll see defenses swarm like that one just did.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he'll have a short pickup down to the 17. Only a yard for him that time, so now 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. This one finds Goddard. And he has it down to the 8-yard line on the play.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the 4th down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
The kick by Hopkins is good. And the opening drive of the game ends in 3 points.
Well, I know once that drive stalls out, that's where it really pays to have that reliable kicker on the sideline ready to bail you out. And he knocks that one right through to give him the lead.
Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Gray now on the return. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. So the Giants out and getting set for their first drive. And leading them out, someone playing at a high level over a decade after entering the league. He's got a Super Bowl to his name. It's Russell Wilson.
Kate, Russell Wilson's one of the NFL's most experienced quarterbacks. He's also one of the winningest quarterbacks, even with a couple bumps in the road in Denver. Remember, over that decade in Seattle with Pete Carroll and the Legion of Boom, there wasn't a quarterback that won more games in the history of the league over the first 10 years. 9 times to the Pro Bowl as well. Put a supporting cast around him, give him a run game and a defense, and Russell Wilson still knows very well how to play this game. Every tight end worth his salt wanted this. Really craved man-to-man coverage. The best of them, give me man-to-man coverage, and I'm going to beat you. I was around Dallas Clark and Indy, one of the best. You play man-to-man, he's going to find a way to out-leverage you, separate from you, and make a play just as that tight end did.
12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
Now, don't think for a second they're going to slow down the tempo. Defense on their heels, and right now is the best chance to go push that envelope and get aggressive.
They've got a man in motion. First down, here's Russ. Finds a seam down the middle. And they stop him. He's marked down along that 18-yard line. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And it's good enough for a New York first down.
You know I love those chunk completions. They're so critical. Those chunk plays, they lead statistically so often to scoring. And then when you get it to a tight end and play action, it's just a little icing on the cake.
From the red zone now. Throwing the out route complete. And they'll advance this down to the 5-yard line. That's a gain of 13, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Sure nice to see them looking for their tight ends in the passing game. Such great size to have out there. It really forces defenses to try to find a way to defend them along with everybody else.
This is Tracy. And he won't win the race to the outside. That run's bottled up at the line. He couldn't get anything there, and now it's 2nd and goal.
I don't mind that call on the early downs. Give that defense something to think about. You got the inside run between the tackles, and whether it's jet sweeps or a little swing pass, or in that case a toss, make sure you threaten to the outside.
And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And he's brought down for a loss.
Well, you call that play to surprise the defense, try to get to the goal line. But a quick adjustment by the defense, well, it kept him in position to make the stop and ruin that play.
They've held him out twice. Here we go, 3rd and goal. Wilson now from the gun. And he sails that one over the end zone.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one, Kate. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back on track.
On 4th down, we'll see Graham Gano lead the Giants field goal unit out. A very short kick here from the right hash. The kick by Gonzalez is good. And we're all tied up now in the first half.
In that close, kicks have to be automatic. That won't stop the head coach, though, from holding his breath for a couple seconds until he sees it's up and good.
Gano ready to send this away. Here comes Williams on the return. This return makes it up to the 25. Now for the second time this game, we're going to look at the Philly offense. And they settled for a chip shot field goal last time, Brock. You got to think they want to be able to finish it off and reach the end zone here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Starting on the ground here with Barkley. And he'll bowl his way ahead for a 4-yard pickup.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 + 4 + 4 equals a 1st down.
2nd and 6 coming up here. He'll try left side out of the option. And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. That tackle made by the rookie from Penn State. 1 quarter down for these two NFC East teams. It's a 3-3 game. We'll return to the link right after this. Ready now for our 2nd quarter. The Eagles have the football. They have 3rd and 4 to start out. Shotgun snap for Hurts. That one's cut along the left sideline. It's a 21-yard gain. And that's good for an Eagles 1st down.
You know, I often say there is a fine line between aggressiveness and carelessness. And when you throw into double coverage, well, it can go either way. That time, a tremendous catch by his receiver on the other end.
1st and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Hurts looking to throw. Half pass complete to Goddard. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on the throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
2nd and 3 now. Motioning him from the slot right. From the 42. Able to get it to Barkley. And he gets it down to the 35 before stepping out. A 70-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
A play like this, that's exactly where you want to get him the ball. Right on the outside, where he's got the space and a lot more room to work.
They're set up at the 35 now. 1st down, a run with Barkley. And this is pushed ahead for a gain of 5. Drew Phillips making the tackle. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game, right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage, B, it sets up your play action, and C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
Here's 2nd and 5. This finds Smith. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Drew Phillips making the tackle.
You know, I'm really not sure if that was an intentionally brave play to challenge double coverage or just simply not seeing the 2 defenders. Either way, what a tremendous throw and catch that earns some momentum.
Motion man left is Brown. Hurts with it on 3rd and short. That's into the hands of Barkley. And he takes this one nearly to the red zone before going out. They'll say he got 5 there, but Brock, all they care about is the first down that comes with it.
Ooh, he knew he was going to pay for throwing that. I knew it from up here in the booth watching that happen. But that's an experienced quarterback. If that first primary target isn't there, make sure you find your safety valve. And that got them some yards, so taking that shot, well, it was not for nothing.
On first down, Hurts completes this one to Jahan Dotson. And able to get this down to the 15 before going out.
Kid, I promise you, if you and I got to travel the country and watch young quarterbacks, even really good high school quarterbacks, out routes are the hardest to complete. Slants, goes, fades, all that stuff comes somewhat naturally, but really trusting yourself to throw that out route, that comes with time and experience.
This throw is caught. And this is down all the way to the 3. It's a real solid pickup, 12 yards, and it rewards them with a 1st and goal.
I can't tell you how nice it is to have a big, trustworthy tight end in the passing game. Such great size to have, and he forces those defenses to find a way to try to match up when they can't.
1st and goal, they'll try an option to the left. And he runs it across, touchdown! The Eagles take a 2nd quarter lead. Jalen Hurts with a touchdown. My partner up here is pumping his fist after that one. That is how you run an option as a quarterback. Good read to hang on to it and do it himself.
Yeah, because I could never do that, not even close. But when the defense overplays and you run that option, you get that good 2-on-1, more times than not, they will commit to the more dangerous guy, the running back. But you leave a lane, this quarterback can do some damage as well.
Now Jake Elliott on to attempt the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Eagles break that tie and now lead by 7. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Here's a return from the 7. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Now for the 2nd time this game, we get a look at the New York offense. And they take over down 10-3 following that score. First down throw from Wilson. Connects with Johnson. And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped. It's a pickup of 11. And the Giants will have a first down.
Gosh, I really like this receiver on that drag route in particular. Why? Because he's a guy that creates after the catch. They don't close quickly. He can take it to the house.
Wilson now, 1st and 10. And he has it along the sideline, but he got a little too close to that edge. They're going to say he's out of bounds. We've got 2nd down.
The best of the best, they just have this intuition, Kate. They know where the boundary is without looking. This receiver's not quite at that level yet. He lost track of where he was, and he brought it in, but out of bounds.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And the cover just too good there. Didn't find a throw that he was confident in, so just throws it away. 3rd down coming up. They kick the running back in motion. Throwing on 3rd, Wilson. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
No one picks him up, and he reminded everyone in the building why that's a major mistake. The linebacker's athleticism on full display. A sack in under 2 seconds? That's a select group of players on the planet who could pull that off.
The Giants readying to punt, and they're going to send out the lefty, Jamie Gillen, for the kick. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. The Eagles about set to go on offense. And that last drive, no answer for what they were doing through the air, so expect some tighter coverage this time around. From the pistol, Hurts. Complete out to the right side. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Oh, they're looking option, headed left side. He's contained at the line for no gain. Javon Holland there to make the stop. No gain on 2nd down, and they need 2 here on 3rd.
So often we talk about the individual having to move on to the next play. Well, that was a perfect picture of the collective. That defense staring down 2nd and 1 rose to the occasion collectively.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 2. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Even from the booth, Kate, I could hear it. I could hear that front 7 telling the guys on the back end, hey, all I need is a couple seconds of lockdown from you guys, and I'm going to get to this QB. You promise that you deliver? And that's exactly what they did, wasted no time in getting that sack.
Now on 4th down, on comes Braden Mann to boot this away for the Birds. And he'll have this fair catch right along the 25. We don't get a return out of that punt. And it'll be Giants football. So here come the Giants, ready to take over again on offense. Now their last drive, not the one they want to replicate after they were forced to punt it away. On 1st down, it's Wilson. Gets this to Johnson. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on a throw, that's a go-to route to target.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Shotgun snap for Wilson. He finds Johnson. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot. It's the 2-minute warning now from the link. It's the Giants. With it, 1st and 10. Now here's Russ. On the slant, complete to Johnson. And they get this down roughly to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Wilson to throw again. Oh, trying forcing it to the slant. It's intercepted. Picked off by Quinyon Mitchell. And the Eagles take over after forcing the first turnover of this ballgame. He got in front of that one for the pick. Looked like that's the receiver it was designed to go to on that play, too.
Yeah, the QB just must have missed the lurky defender in coverage right there. That's where, as a QB, you've got to have the vision to not just see your route, but see those defenders in front of it. If you stare down your receivers in this league, turnovers follow.
Philadelphia getting ready to go on offense. They seem likely to carry the lead into the locker room, but some points here to end the half could make things even more comfortable. 1st and 10. Here's Hurts. Taken in by Smith. And he gets him around 6 there. Micah McFadden able to make the play.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard defensive coordinators say, hey, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. You got to earn the right for me to call blitzes. And when you call a blitz and you don't get home and you don't hit the quarterback, you've earned nothing.
After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Hurts now from the gun. Vacates quickly left side. He's going to keep it this time. And he has it to the 42 before they make the stop. Timeout taken by the Eagles. That's going to be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Shotgun snap for Hurts. And for the first time, one of his throws doesn't find a home. It's incomplete, but boy, what a streak he had to begin this game.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Couldn't connect on first. It's 2nd down. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. Brought in right side. And he's going to be brought down at the 23-yard line. A 19-yard pickup, and that's going to move the chains.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
Up to the line, and they're set. 1st and 10. Motioning left is their running back. First down throwing for Hurts. That one's complete, right side. And he's out of bounds inside the red zone, just short of the 15. After a good pickup, they've got 2nd and 4. Hurts throwing again. That's Smith on the slant. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. Philadelphia going to spend its 2nd timeout. And they still have 1 in their pocket for what's left of this half. Four downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Hurts looking to throw. Rolling. This time they're going to get there, and they drop him. Good pressure from the defense there has them trending in the wrong direction. Now, just before the break, a timeout taken by the offense, and they can try for some points going into the break. Jake Elliott out to put up 3 for the Eagles. He connected once, and a good chance here. This is inside of 35. The kick by Hopkins is good. And that'll push it to double digits in a 2-possession game.
Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. 2nd time they brought him out for a field goal, and 2nd time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
Well, Brock, barring the touchback, this kickoff should run out the half, so better make that return good as it's away. And he opts not to bring this one out, so they're going to enjoy some good starting field position from the 30. He's back to throw. To the ground it goes. That's incomplete. We're at halftime here in Philadelphia, and the Eagles have soared to a lead at the break. Now we'll send you down the East Coast to our studios in Orlando. Jonathan Coachman and the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much. And with that, we welcome you all into our EA Sports studios. This is the Halftime Report. The Eagles were led in the first half by their dynamic quarterback, Jalen Hurts. He was able to take it in himself for the game's only touchdown. And you wonder if this coaching staff will ask him to do a bit more the rest of the way.
All right, thank you, Coach. And we are back and about set to begin the second half. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Fielded at the 7. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Giants offense with the football. They'll get it first in this second half. That passing game they went to in the first half, it's going to need to be firing to start this second half, too, as they chase this lead. They'll send him over right. From the gun, it's Tracy. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Call it 7 yards, and now they'll have 2nd down and 3.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get gains like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
2nd and 3 now. Here's Tracy once more. And he won't salvage that. It's a loss on the play.
What was supposed to move the chains, or at least make 3rd down easier to handle instead, well, did the exact opposite here, Kate. It now makes this 3rd down a whole lot trickier to figure out.
Let's see what they draw up on this 3rd and 7. They'll motion him out of the backfield. To the air, 3rd and long. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Sometimes you're looking to push the ball down the field. But as I've said before, the crumbs lead to a cookie. And you never go broke taking a profit, and those big tight ends will often find you those easy check down yards.
1st down now, ball at the 39-yard line. This time they're going to get there, and they drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
In theory, Kate, that's exactly what complementary man coverage is supposed to look like. The DBs, well, they're sticky on the back end of it. The front end, that pass rush, it makes an impact that gets home. But, of course, we know it's not that simple. It is really tough to lock down a full field for more than a second or two.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Trying again, following the sack. Got a man, Robinson has it. And he's going to get this up close to the 40 before going out. Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. Wilson now from the gun. Completed over the middle. And he's going to get this up to the 45 before he's brought down.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
The Giants are set to punt. And he'll try to have his 2nd punt top his 1st one. Ooh, it's away, but he knows he mishit that one. Headed for the sideline. This punt out of bounds on the fly. We're waiting for the mark. Looks like they're going to say it's short of the 30. The Eagles and quarterback Jalen Hurts ready to go once more on offense. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Barkley on the shotgun handoff. And he's only able to power this forward for about 3 yards.
Got to be rush hour, Kate, because there's a whole lot of traffic up the middle right there. He ran right into some gridlock, and he could only manage a few yards at most.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Here's Hurts. Escapes the pocket. He's on the move. It's on the turf, the ball's out, he lost it. And it's picked out by the Giants.
You're using this play to try for a 1st down, but also set up whatever in your back pocket for 3rd down. But you know what? Throw it all away. None of it matters now if you can't hang on to the doggone football. And the defense pounces on that one in a hurry.
Now here comes the New York offense. They struggled to produce on that last series, but better results ahead as they take possession here. A handoff to Tracy. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
You call that first down running play. You don't always expect to get those kind of yards, but they'll take that every single time.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. First down, and they go right back to him. And it's a nice little chunk here, 6 yards. Sidney Brown in on that stop. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
That's what I call a rhythm starter right there. Man, offenses love execution and plays like that on first down, Kate, because now that playbook is wide open. All options on the table for 2nd down.
2nd and 4. This finds Bellinger. He's forward, gets a couple of yards. That's Nolan Smith there for the stop.
This defense didn't give up contain there, Kate. That was an instance where the more exciting plays were taken away downfield. And even looking to the tight end wasn't going to net them much.
3rd and just 2 to go. From the gun, it's Wilson. That's caught for the first. And they get this down to the 7-yard line. That's a pickup of 17 yards, partner, and it makes it 1st and goal.
Well, that's a game that has its roots in preparation during the week. That's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday kind of stuff. Identifying ways to target the coverage and creating opportunities for big completions.
This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Working inside the red zone. And that's a New York touchdown. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
Graham Gano to tack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Giants cut it to a field goal game. Volley set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. This return starts at the 5. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Philadelphia's offense back out for another drive. They watch their fumble turn into points, so feeling maybe a little bit of an urge to make up for that now in this series. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Hurts to throw. Able to get it to Barkley. And he's down after getting this up to the 41. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on a defense.
Straight ahead, here's Barkley. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
That's why you often see some mix, some high percentage pass plays on 1st and 10. You got to keep a defense honest. They're always looking for a run in that situation and a chance to stack them up for 2nd and long.
All right, here we go, 2nd down. On the play fake, it's Hurts. Bails out of the pocket quick. He can run it. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe. Well, hold on a sec. We've got an Eagle hurting pretty good out there, and they're going to head out to look at him. 3rd and a lone yard coming up. They'll go from the gun with Barkley. And he'll be brought down after getting it to the 47-yard line. That goes as a 4-yard pickup, and it gets him a first down.
A split second, all that kept the defense from making a stand right there. It's amazing, man. This game of inches and split-second reactions. A nice bit of burst, surge forward for enough to go get that first by a couple before they could finally drag him down.
On first down, Hurts has him on the quick hitter. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. Second and 3 now. They'll empty the backfield and motion him out. From the pistol, Hurts. Short pass brought in. And he pushes this down to the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 17 on that one. And that's a Philadelphia first down.
Well, that one was drawn up and delivered beautifully, efficiently. If it's not circled on the call sheet already, you better believe it is now.
They'll keep this drive moving and come to the line for 1st and 10. Now Hurts. And he's touched down about 5 yards shy of that first down marker. Everyone's prepped. It's second down now. From the 17. Along the sideline, Brown brings it in. And he's going to be tackled, but still all the way down to the 6. So they'll be set up with a 1st and goal when we come back. It's Eagles football trying to carry this lead across the finish line. All set up for an insurance score here. It's 1st and goal. Shotgun snap for Hurts. Has it in close. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this 2-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
Elliott on now to attempt a point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Eagles make it a 10-point ball game. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Starting from the 5. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. New York taking over once again. The offense heading out. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you got to imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3-and-out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Shotgun snap for Wilson. A throw left side finds Johnson. Eagles with an extra man in the secondary for this third down. Russ now from the gun. Put the body on the line for his team. Following that completion, remember the O-line looks to be in some pain. They're headed out to take a look at him now. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. On the handoff, this is Tracy. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
The one thing I could say positive about the execution of that play is at least he didn't go backwards.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson to the air. Catch made, Tyrone Tracy. And he'll be brought down a step or two shy of midfield. They're going to mark him at the 48.
It may not look like much on the stat sheet, but this is kind of good on good. An offense gets a completion, not going backwards, and the defense, well, they rallied, they pursued, and kept that screen to a minimal gain.
Throwing on 3rd, Wilson. And it's incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
So often, so many of these games in the NFL, well, they come down to a play or two, and 3rd downs are critical. Whether it's in a close game or already out of hand, their coach wants to see them convert those.
3rd down pass didn't work, but the offense staying out there on 4th. Russ looking to throw. He puts some juice on a deep throw down the middle. And they won't do it. That falls incomplete on 4th down.
Well, I think every analytics book out there, Kate, said you got to go for it. You're in 4-down territory, down a couple scores here in the 4th. But now it's all about the defense. Can the defense come with a quick turnover or a stop to somehow, some way, spark a comeback?
First and 10. Here's Hurts. Goddard makes the catch. And he works this to the 38 before going down.
The goal of running that drag route is to get it to him for at least a minimal gain with space to add after that. They picked up a good chunk, and there was nearly room to add even more.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. They're going to go with Barkley on the counter. And he's able to get this to the 32 before going down. Call it 7 yards on the play, and that's enough for the 1st down.
Most of the people watching will forget about that play in a couple minutes, but the coaches won't forget. He has that filed away the next time he really needs to pick up a few yards.
It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. 1st down throwing for Hurts. That pass complete to Goddard. And he'll be brought down here at the 23-yard line. Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. From the 23. He's on the move. He keeps it and takes off. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal.
Obviously, a defense wants to take away all the reads and prevent any kind of big throw for the 1st down. Fine. Well, this QB, he'll just lower his head and gash the defense with one of the biggest runs of the game.
1st and goal now as they try to pad this lead. They're going to run with Barkley. And the power play up the gut only results in 2 yards. Now it's 2nd and goal from the 1. It's an option to the left side, and he's in for the touchdown. The Eagles can put this out of reach as they make it a 16-point lead. Jalen Hurts with the touchdown. Well, we all knew somebody was running with it there, and when the defender started flowing towards the back, he made the right call that he would be the one to run it in.
Yeah, he sure did. I think if he hands that off, this play does not end in a touchdown, but in a collision for his running back.
Yeah.
So not only is that running back thanking his quarterback, the rest of the guys are celebrating for that decision.
Elliott on now to attempt the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Eagles take a 3-possession lead. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Gray now on the return. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Giants offense all set to get started. And the last time we saw them, Brock, they took a risk, went for it on their own half of the field, but it didn't work out. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Wilson now from the gun. And he just gets rid of it. Knew he had a couple of plays left. Didn't want to take a risk there on 1st down.
Well, you certainly want those throws to be automatic. Every team, if you're going to be efficient, you got to hit those passes in the short to intermediate zone to effectively move the ball in this league.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. Throwing again is Russ. He's got him. That's Tracy. And it's good yardage, but they tackle him short of the sticks.
Rhythm. You hear me talk about rhythm a lot. Whether it's a golf swing, a baseball swing, heck, even a bowler gets himself into rhythm. And I'm just telling you, Kate, from experience, these little throws to running backs, it's one of the best things to get your offense into rhythm and a nice little gain on top of it.
Escapes the pocket. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They get 22 on that one. And the Giants will have a 1st down.
As much as you'd like to find a completion and get the ball out of your hands, when a play breaks down, you got to be able to make a play with your legs. His offense counts on his ability to evade pressure and occasionally make plays just like that. Well, this is in every quarterback's tool belt, even the ones not regarded as the best movers and shakers. But, Kate, to play QB in the league today, you've got to be able to do this. If you've got nobody open, still get some positive yards with your legs.
A dose of the hurry-up offense here. From the gun, it's Wilson. He's got it to him yet again. That is caught. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And it's good enough for a New York 1st down.
Just about every defensive coordinator worth his salt says 2 things in every production meeting. Number 1, well, we got to stop the run. And number 2, we got to take away the tight end. Well, good luck doing that. Defending a big guy who can move like that, it's a lot easier to talk about than to go out and execute.
And he sneaks this through the middle, maybe a gain of 2. So that brings us to the 2-minute warning in Philly. Giants hoping to make it look a little better before time runs out. 8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Now here's Russ. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And he's brought down after a short gain.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic. But it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you can depend on.
Keeping that pace going as the clock continues to run. The shot to the end zone is incomplete. 6 that time. And that leaves them with 4th and 5.
Quarterbacks, well, they're a lot like sharpshooters in the NBA. Sometimes they're just going to miss. You got to shake it off and keep on firing.
Offense still staying out after the incompletion. They're going to try on 4th. Russ setting to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, New York! The Giants get it back to within 2 possessions. That one not easy, Brock. Threading the needle there. There was a lot of traffic in the end zone, but he found his man.
Yeah, that was an ill-advised decision, but when you give your receiver a chance, that's what they love. And sometimes you just have to trust your guys are better than theirs.
Gano for the PAT. The point after splits the uprights. And the Giants cut the lead down to 10. So even after the score, they're still down 2 possessions. Time not exactly on their side as they try this onside kick. And the onside kick doesn't pan out. The Eagles make the recovery. And they'll get him down after he gets into the 48. The Eagles headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. First and 10, ball set up at the 48. Barkley trying this up the gut. And he's caught behind the line for a loss. The Giants using their first timeout as they'll meet and decide what to do on this second down. Here's another carry for Barkley. And not a lot of room for him as he's brought down. Timeout called, and that's going to be the second for New York. And they'll take a moment to ponder what the call's going to be on third down. Hurts now from the gun. Catch is made down the right sideline. And he gets in. Touchdown, Philadelphia! The Eagles can put this out of reach as they make it a 16-point lead. A.J. Brown, the touchdown. So sensational work by the skill man there, Brock. Anytime you can make your quarterback look that good, you know he appreciates it.
That's a quarterback's best friend, no question. But on the other side, gosh, defensively, you got to get that skill player down. Period. Yeah. End of story. You can't give up that much yards after catch.
Elliott on now to attempt the point after. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Eagles take a 3-possession lead. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. Gray now on the return. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. The Giants and Russell Wilson headed back to the field now. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this. Couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process. They'll get this drive started. First and 10. Here's Wilson. That one falls to the turf. Couldn't hang on. It's incomplete.
You know, he might complete 99 out of 100 of those short, simple routes to the tight ends. Even the shortest and simplest of throws, well, it's due to end up in a drop at some point.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. They'll motion him out of the backfield. To throw again on 2nd and 10. Wilson trying to push it deep downfield. That's grabbed inside the 30. And he does quite a bit of damage before they finally take him down.
This defense did the best they could to track him as he ran all the way across the field, but eventually, you're just going to lose him. And that's when a completion was made and turned it into a significant gain.
They've got to keep moving quick here. First down, here's Russ. This one's caught. Touchdown, New York. So the offense showing a slightly different dimension there, Brock, getting the running back involved with his hands for the touchdown.
Yeah, such an advantage. I think when you think about it, Kate, it really is about the 80s where we start to see these running backs not just tote the ball as runners, but be real weapons when they get the ball in the passing game.
Yeah.
That's well done.
Gano for the PAT. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Giants cut the lead down to 10. Well, time making this all but impossible, but they're going to try for the onside kick here anyway. And the Eagles are able to recover. And that should just about do it for us here. And he'll get this down to the 33-yard line. The Eagles are being led back out there on offense by their quarterback. And his effectiveness hasn't been limited to what he can do with his arm this season. On that last drive, he reached a significant mark for his efforts on the ground as well. With the win in hand, they'll take the knee, let this clock run out. The Giants are going to call their final timeout here. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. Lining up to take a knee on 2nd down. Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
Setting up for the kneel down on 3rd. So it's an Eagles win here in this one. This was a game they had circled a long time ago, Brock. You bring a division rival into your building, you want to make a statement at their expense and get that W.
We know it's not just an axiom, right, that it's so hard to win any game in the NFL. It is. They're difficult to do. But a division rival in your own building, it almost feels like a must-win, and that's the juice they played with today.
So for my partner, Brock Heward, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. The Eagles are winners as we say so long from Philadelphia.